Hey guys, just a quick once over for the hard surface toolbox. Got the wireframe option, obviously. You can see what's going on with your wireframe, and it'll stay static for whichever object you have selected. And then you've got the show in front. So if I just want to see this border outside, I can click the show in front and kind of see everything. Maybe show in front and wireframe. You can check everything out. Then you've got the access points, which you can turn on to just check your mesh direction and your rotation. And now I've added an apply scale button as well. And then you've got the show face orientation. As you can see, I modeled this thing out just recently. And so it's got the orientation going in the opposite direction. So I could just click flip normals, come back out. I'll grab this one. I don't think I had all the faces selected, so let me go back and hit A for all, then flip those normals, go back to object mode, grab this one, go back in, hit A for all, and flip those normals. And the same process, you hit Alt-N and you get the flip and the recalculate. This is going to recalculate for you to the outside automatically, and it's a Boolean operation, so it will turn it on and off and toggle it for you, and it calculates to the outside. I could turn off the show face orientation. Now for the toolet here, it's got an auto mirror. You don't have to have it pulled out this far, but just understand that the auto mirror needs to be enabled for now until I make that a little hidden automatic feature inside of the add-on. And so real quick, if you wanted to start tooling it, there's now access points for the X, Y, and Z respectively. So if you want to go from top to bottom and pull this inside piece, you can just go to the Z and tool it. And what it's going to do is it's going to pull this piece in. And now you've got this potential, what can you do here, right? Well, you can leave it on the Z axis and tool that as well. And it's going to fix that for you. So you could do this however you want. Then if you want to go into the other access points, and if you've got an option to kind of open that up, then you can do it. And I can go back to the x-axis for the other object and tool that one to a perfect square as well. And you can go back and forth, kind of play with it, get used to it. If it's not working right, you can hit the apply scale. It's going to apply everything. It's like the all transform that just not going to mess everything up for you. Then, of course, you've got your standard setup here with the bevel, remesh, solidify, and the wireframe. And you've got a subdivide. So I hit A for all, and I want to subdivide this out and get some different geometry. I can do that. I can also triangulate the faces, which in a mesh like this actually ends up looking pretty cool. And you could do, let's see, you could probably just select these and hit Control plus. And grab that, and then maybe checker deselect that, just for a little example, and then do like a little slight extrusion in or out and make some interesting patterns. And of course, the subdivide speaks for itself. Now, the bridge edge loops function, and I'm going to go back on that so that's gone. This is pretty cool because if I go in and I select this face here, I for an inset, and then just hit bridge edge loops. Now I've got this, right? And so if I wanted to tool it, I can tool it like that as well, and then tool it to the bottom. And it makes a pretty unique thing. I mean, you could make windows with this. It's very geometrically precise. It's going to make perfect geometry for you. And if you did want some other modification, you did something else to this mesh, and you just kind of came in, and maybe you grabbed this line and let's not do it there. Let's just bevel it here. And actually, I'm just going to select this one because it's kind of in the way, and select the edge loops, X, and I will solve those edges because those were kind of in the way. And just for the fun of it, I'm just going to bevel this little spot right here. And say that's all I wanted was this funky little indent, if you will. And then I'll go back to the X and tool it, and there it is. And now once I've symmetrized it, if you will, across, because it's an auto mirror symmetrize multifunction, you know, and you got an apply scale all kind of tied in, which is pretty nice. Then you could just go to the Z and tool it, and now you've got you know, precision, and it's going to look pretty good. Okay, and so those are some of the updates that I'm working on. I've got some other stuff that's actually even going to be bigger than this, but this is a pretty big deal because you can model stuff out, and this is akin to using geometry nodes to create actual mesh objects. You know, create your models with geometry nodes, like the TIE fighter that I did, and I've got a tutorial on that. You want to go see it? It's fun. You can make a TIE fighter in Blender with nothing but geometry nodes. It was a real pain in the neck to make it, but it was really fun at the same time. So that's the updates. There's, you know, some of the functionality and what you can do, and it's, you know, like I said, it's very, very precise. And I've got the auto bevel coming next, so you can just apply a bevel that's got everything set for you. You don't have to do anything, and then you can, you know, go in here if you wanted and find said bevel, and then, you know, modify it, change it, do whatever you want. That's it, guys. I really appreciate you watching, and remember those cool functions and like little things like this, going into face mode and selecting these and maybe double tapping I, and then, you know, scaling it on Y and bridging those edge loops. You can make some really cool stuff. And don't forget to have your bevel modifier on, so you can make sure all that is working. And then I will see you guys in the next tutorial.